Please introduce yourself, sir.
Good morning, Ordinary President, and good morning, Nigerians. My name is Innocent Bola Audu, the National President, Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. That is the union in the civil service that unionizes level 7 to 17, both federal and state civil services in Nigeria.
Thank you.
We have close to 500,000 members.
Next person, please.
Good morning, my.
Yes, it's on, sir.
Good morning, my ordinary president. Good morning, Brekete Family. My name is Comrade Abba Hassan, and I'm a two-time chairman of Unit Federal Ministry of Health, and I'm an assistant director.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ordinary President. My name is Babatunde Adeusi. I'm a legal practitioner and the legal representative to the National President.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Honorary President.
Morning, sir.
My name is Comrade Isaac Ojemeke. I'm the Deputy Secretary General and the head of the Abuja office of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Honorary President. My name is Dr. Ibokwe Chukuma Ibokwe. I am a Deputy Secretary General of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria.
Thank you. Good morning, Ordinary President. Good morning, Nigerians. My name is Comrade Sham Mohammed. I'm the President of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria.
Two presidents now.
Just one we have.
Okay. I know. Here. Ogasa. What you when I hear just now? Somebody introduced himself as president. Another person introduced himself as president. And when I go prove to us who be the authentic president. But as far as this place is concerned, two people introduced themselves as the presidents of president of the same association, not the branch of the other one. Are we together? So the thing don't enter your hand there. Yes, you hear the allegations where they for ground. Talk to the microphone, sir.
Yes, I hear.
Okay. You hear and where?
I hear the allegation.
No, be where. Ogasa.
Sir.
Now wait then they here.
Yes, sir.
I would like make you re-narrate your story. Where they hear. Then when they hear, they're not going to interrupt you. When they want to talk, you're not going to interrupt them. Would they don't set the rules? The ground rules don't they for ground. So over to you.
Thank you, Ordinary President. I was Vice President of this union from 2012 to 2020. That means I served 2 terms as Vice President before I contested for the position of the National President in 2020. I overwhelmingly won the elections. Overwhelmingly, I won the election because there was no opposition nationwide. And we started the government. The month after the election, which was, the election was July 29, 2020, I fell sick that same day of the election. And after the election, I was admitted to the hospital. And for 8 days, they thought
the election that brought you
brought me in as the national president. They thought I had COVID. But after extensive check, it was not COVID. The story is that it was an African disease. And we moved on. And when I came out of the hospital, I invited my Secretary General then, his name is Alade Bashiru Lawa, to come, that I'm okay now, and we are resuming. And so he came and brought a change of signatory forms for me, the National Treasurer, to fill, because as a new executive, you now have to change the signatories to the accounts Please, sir, I want you
from
to
the previous
from the previous one to
now
the current
government
people.
has changed.
Thank you, sir. I want you to take note of something here. He brought the forms, we filled them, and he took them back. The union has 3 layers of governance. The Central Working Committee, which is headed by the president, is responsible for the day-to-day running of the union. We have the National Executive Council of the union, which comprises of state chairmen, chapter chairmen, and state secretaries all over Nigeria. It's a higher level to the Central Working Committee. That one meets once in a year. And then we have the National Delegate Conference, which means once in 4 years. That is where rules are changed, constitutions are amended, any other thing the union wants to do. That is the highest decision body of the union. It doesn't meet every time, it meets once in a year when we want to conduct elections. And so back to where I diverged to explain the structure of the union. And so we filled those forms, and the secretary took them back to Lagos because the National Secretariat is in Lagos, Yaba, Montgomery Street, number 2 in Montgomery Street, up Montgomery in Yaba, Lagos, around T Street. It's just off Montgomery in Lagos.
Is it supposed to be like that?
Well,
President
you know,
is here, secretariat is...
Thank you, sir. That was the structure we met on ground.
Okay.
And we've been operating it that way. Most times, the president stays in Abuja because, you know, the seat of government has moved to Abuja now. So we have a secretariat in Abuja here we call the Annex. And so I was in the Annex, he was in Lagos. But anytime I needed attention, he will have to come and then join me, and then we'll do the work. And so the end of August, that very 2020, I was waiting to see that since we have filled the change of signatories to the accounts, that at least I'll be getting alerts. I didn't get anything. Salaries of staffs were paid. We have over 70 staffs. And I called him early September when we were to hold the first meeting, the inaugural CWC. I said, please, Secretary General, how did you pay worker salaries? Because I know I didn't get alert. I did not sign any check for you, whatever. How did you do it? No. You know, we still have some money after the delegate conference. That was the example he gave me. And I said, okay, this is explanation. We see how do we keep that volume of cash? And he says, sometimes, you know, this unionism, we deal with cash, with this, with that. I said, no, me, I'm not comfortable with this kind of arrangement. Who was telling you that? The Secretary General then. His name is Alade Bashiru Lawal. Bashiru Lawal. Yes. And so we continued. We had the meeting in September. Before the end of September, the then Surveyor General had become 60 years of age. And so the union would normally write you because these are not political offices, you know. So once there is vacancy, directors in that organization will be selected. One of them will be selected through interview processes and made the next head of the organization. We wrote to that man, and then he obliged us and said, well, he's 60, and then so what does he have to do? He left. By the end of September, my Secretary General still paid salaries without me knowing how he did it. And I became curious at this time. And the next thing he was telling me is, I just have to be patient. I'm still learning the ropes. I just came in. I shouldn't rock the boat. There's a way these things are done. I said, well, as the president, the buck stops on my table. I will account for every
and you
cover.
were vice president 2 times.
I was vice president 2 times before I became the president.
So which other group are you supposed to learn again?
2.
Continue.
2. And I said, the buck stops at my table.
Is he amongst these people here now?
No, he's not here.
Okay, continue.
The buck stops at my table. It's me they will ask what happened to the funds of the association. And as the president, I am the head of the trustee of the association. All the assets and liabilities of the association are entrusted to me. I needed to be able to give account at every point in time, more so especially that I am a trained accountant. And so I must give value for money. This didn't sit well with him because what I met on ground was not what we can describe here. It was a sham, a shame. It's like they sign checks and then he is the only one that knows the bank accounts, even though we have a national treasurer. He is the only one that goes to the bank. The treasurer does not have any one document to work with. Nobody knows anything. It's just between
Mention
him.
the name of the national treasurer.
Sir?
The name of the national treasurer.
Comrade Megeri.
Okay.
Rahab.
Is he here?
No, unfortunately, she's not here. She was here the last time.
Okay. Oh, she?
The exigencies of work as she traveled out of Abuja yesterday for an assignment. I think they are capturing Jambo.
Just go ahead.
So she's working outside Abuja. And so those kind of things were the things happening, keeping large volumes of cash, how they expense it, you won't know. How he went to bank to collect the money, you won't know because he already has checks in his possession he can use. And so he made me to understand that the system they were using was that all the checks would be signed and handed over to him while he's in Lagos, you can imagine. And then... with amounts written on them or just... blank checks. Blank checks. This was where my issue started with him. And I said I was not going to do that.
Hold on. What is the worth in terms of cash of this association?
Well, I would say most times we gross between 70 to 100 million every month.
So in a year?
Then it's about $1 billion plus.
1.something billion naira.
Every year, yes. Sir.
Okay, continue.
And so this is what he wants to continue to control, even when I came in
blank
as the
checks.
president. Blank checks, yes.
No
sir.
amounts written.
Nothing.
Then when the president signs, he will now give it to the Secretary General.
Yes.
To take to Lagos.
Yes.
So anything he feels like feeling on top of the check.
Thank you, sir. Exactly.
Any amount
that is it exactly,
he deems fit,
sir. Exactly.
He will now write
yes,
on
sir.
top.
Yes, sir.
So continue.
He feels it and then he goes to the bank to do all the transactions. I became worried because at a point in time I knew this is against financial regulation or all known financial laws. And so he was not happy because I was now trying to probe into how the organization was working financially when I came in without exercising patience. And I said, I've been patient enough. I came in July 29. I didn't know how you paid August salary. You have paid September salary. I wouldn't know how you paid September salary. It's all still the same excuses. And so by the end of October, he brought me a Ghana must go of checks. President, you say you want to sign checks now. Please sign. Sign for me. And I looked at the Ghana must go. It was a medium-sized Ghana must go. The check booklets there are over 100.
Any point you get to.
Yes, sir.
Like when you said he presented the checks to you, you now mention the name of the person and the designation of the person so that people, where they listen to this program, they carried along. We know they there with Una. As you they talk your own, then go talk their own.
Yes, sir. So the person who brought the checks to me was still the same Secretary General. Like I said earlier on.
By name, who?
Everything, Alade Bashiru Lawa. Everything is in his custody. That was one thing I even queried. Because as Secretary General, you are not a member of this union. You are an employee of the union.
Oh. He's not a member.
He's not a member.
But a staff.
He's just a staff.
Of the Secretariat.
Yes. Even these two now, they are staffs of the Secretariat. They are not members of the union. These Secretary General, Deputy Secretary Generals, they are just staffs of the union. They are not members of the union. They don't contribute to the union. They are workers we employ to come and work for us. So they seize the union. Continue. Because of the funds that they have access to. They seize the union.
Continue.
And I said, no, it won't happen. And so he told me that if I was not going to cooperate with him, because I told him I was not going to sign the Ghana go of more checks, there were over 100 booklets. And I asked how he came about this high number of booklets. He said to me that every state we have in Nigeria has two accounts. One collection account, the other accounts to pay the officers we have in that state. So you can see now, 2 booklets times 36 states of the Federation plus Abuja, you know how many number there will be, including the national headquarters, that we have more than 20 accounts that I was just getting to know as at that time. I became very furious with him. And I said I was going to issue him a query. But then we quarreled that day and he threatened to deal with me. I took it as a joke and I left.
Were there people there?
It was me and him in my office.
Okay.
When he brought it in Abuja here. They brought the Ghana Go checks to me in Abuja here. Then it was later I called in my national treasurer And I told her not to sign. And she didn't sign. If she was here, I should testify to that. I told her not to sign until we know what the truth about our finances are. And so in between this period, we had even also issued a quit notice to the then Accountant General, Idris Ahmed, because he had overstayed. And there was a pressure on the union that, it should not be a political office. He just claimed to me that I know that Mr. President extended his tenure. And I said to him, sir, you have been Accountant General now for 6 years. It's normally a 4-year office tenure. What we expect is that if they allowed you to continue in the office until you attain the age of 60, now that you are 60, you should honorably leave. It's a grace that you
told
enjoyed.
the Accountant General?
Of course, I told him. He got very angry with me.
Through somebody or face to face?
Face to face. I met him 3 times on these issues.
The same Accountant General would recover money for him.
Thank you, sir. If he had gone when I asked him to go, that would not have happened to him. And so, 3 occasions I met him, and I met with very serious and severe threats.
Wait. So if to say you go that time where you tell him?
Yes, if he had left when I asked him to go, yes.
Una for cover
No.
up?
No.
Una they hear something?
No. Ordinary president, not so. Not cover up anything.
Okay.
Because the issues he was accused of happened after I had told him to leave.
Not before?
No.
Sorry, sir.
Those issues happened after I had told him to leave the office.
Continue.
So that's that. And so I took it as if it was just a joke. We issued him ultimatum anyway. 3 ultimatums to leave.
Would him be in response that time where you tell and say make you come out for office?
He said to me in one of the conversations I had with him that I should support him. And I said, well, I'm supporting you already. That is why I'm making it easy coming to have this conversation with you. That I have expected that you will just respect the system. You know how it is. When it is 4 years for every Accountant General, if their tenure is not renewed, they go. Once you are 60 years, it's a law in service. We don't debate it, we don't argue it. You just pack your load and go. But because what was reigning that time, under the last administration, was continuity and extension of tenure.
Buratai
Thank you. So everybody was just extending his tenure. Whether Buhari give letter or not, it was extension of tenure. And so he was not happy. He felt I should support him since I am from his office. And I said, no. I am a staff of that office.
Constituency.
Thank you, sir.
Primary constituency.
I said I was not going to do that kind of a thing because I was elected by every Nigerian who is a member of this union to serve for a 4-year term. I cannot close my eyes to injustice and allow it to happen. And so, by February, let me leave out the details of the DSS and all the Minister of Finance.
Mention everything.
Okay, so by January 7, after the last 3rd ultimatum expired, the DSS invited us. And we went to their office. Luckily enough, I went to their office with this Isaac Ojeveke at the Yellow House. And they said they had that we want to foment trouble. I said, no, we are not fomenting any trouble. That the only thing was that we issued an ultimatum to the Accountant General whose tenure has expired. His tenure expired on the 25th of November, and he's still in the office. This is January 7. And DSSR hasn't the SGF then gotten across to us that this matter they've discussed it. I said, well, if the SGF had gotten across to us, we will not be here. And we said to them, well...
Who was the SGF then?
I think it was Boss Mustafa. Boss Mustafa.
Okay.
So I said, well, if he had gotten across to us, we will not be here today. Now, all we know as a union is that we know how somebody enters service, and we know how you should leave service. The only thing we are saying is that if you claim that there is a letter extending your tenure, please give us just a photocopy. It would do. We will call a Congress and show them. But for me to call the members and tell them that Buhari extended your tenure,
through
and
DSS.
as such, we don't have any document to show to them, I was elected to represent them. I can't go and do that. They said, okay, we should give them time, they will get to us.
Who says so?
The then Director Internal Security of DSS. I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name now. I think he attended to us that day.
Was it headquarters or command?
Headquarters, Yellow House.
Okay.
Yes. And so we left and to wait for them. We actually waited for them. By January 18 or so, the then Minister for Finance now called my attention. I went to her office that evening. By name? What's this woman's name? I just left. I forgot her name again. Is it Ahmed? Zainab Ahmed, yeah.
I don't tell you. Anybody where matter reach inside in office, you go mention in
no
name.
Problem, sir.
And possibly the year.
Yeah.
Please.
This was 2021.
Thank you. So Zainab Ahmed was the then
18th or 17th of January.
Okay.
So she
Zainab Ahmed was the then Minister
for Finance.
She reached out to you.
Yes, she reached out to me.
What was the content?
And she wanted me to come see her that evening, and I went straight to her office. And she said to me, please, she heard we have been having some few issues with the Accountant General, and that she herself is aware, but she has not been able to have audience with Mr. President, and that I should please give her a few time. Now, although why she's calling my attention now is that she wants to go on a short leave for a few days, that she has overworked herself, and that I should please just maintain peace until she gets back.
Make you give her peace.
Thank you.
Make it continue.
So,
pending when she returns.
I said, okay, no problem. I was not even angry. I said, okay, no problem. So I was trying to ask her when she was going to come back, but those details she didn't want to release. So I just left, and I said, we will maintain decorum, and that there was not going to be any issue, because he said, if there was an issue now, I know that they will call her back from this short leave she wants to take. I said, no problem, ma. I can give you my word. And she left. That was 18th, I'm sure, 18th of January 2021. By 5th of February, the then Minister for Labor called me, Chris Ngige. I said, where was I? And I said I had just left Abuja for Lagos, and that I just arrived to Lagos. He said, okay, that there's a meeting that is scheduled for this evening, 8 p.m., and that he would want me to be there. This was around after 3 in the afternoon. And I said, Honorable Minister, sir, I just arrived Lagos.
The meeting was supposed to be
8 p.m.
That same day.
That same day.
And he called you.
He called me around 3.
And you were.
I was already in Lagos.
And the meeting was supposed to take place in Abuja.
Yes, in Abuja, 8 p.m. And I said to him, I just arrived Lagos. I can't come back to Abuja, but can I ask my Secretary General to represent me? He said, okay, no problem.
That's Chris Ngige.
Yes.
The then Minister of Labor.
The then Minister for Labor. And then I called my Secretary General and I said, prepare and go to Abuja right away. Alade Bashirulawa is my Secretary General. I said, okay, prepare and go to Abuja
the same man
right
bring
away.
Ghana,
yes.
Ghana
yes,
must
yes,
go
yes.
filled
yes,
with empty checks for you to sign.
Yes, sir.
Blank checks.
Yes.
Okay.
So he obeyed, and while he was going, I said, okay, I was going to call the TUC president then, Comrade Kwadiri, to join you to that meeting. Because the way the Honorable Minister called me, I am sure
it wasn't friendly.
It was not friendly at all. I'm sure it's a meeting that I think we should have witnesses. And I called the then president of TUC, who obliged me.
By name?
Kwadiri. So he was there. My representative was there. The TUC president was there at that meeting. And so
which of the DG DSS?
The Bichi, the one that is there.
Present
yes,
DG DSS.
Yes. He was at that meeting. I was not there, but my Secretary General reported to me. And I said, okay, if it was just time to wait for them, they could have just communicated that now. What was the need for the meeting? And all of that. That is what it would have made me go to Abuja for. And all of that when I just arrived to Lagos. Because we had gone on Christmas break, and I was just resuming back to the office for the new year then. And so I had to immediately come back to Abuja. And then, after a week, NAPTIP came and arrested me.
Now, hold on. Before the NAPTIP, I want you to understand the position of the DSS. They work based on the information or petition they have received.
Yes, I agree completely.
You understand what I'm saying? And it will not be good at the end of the day when you fight each other, and it was on record that a petition or a complaint was sent to DSS for them to intervene. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not their spokesperson. But having had dealings with the DSS for close to 30 years now, I can tell you that for free. So continue, sir.
Thank you, sir. I also would confirm that it is a very responsible organization. I'm telling Nigerians, it's a very, very responsible organization.
So continue. NAPTIP now.
Now, when NAPTIP came and arrested me, I was having a meeting with my executive, because when I rushed back from Lagos, I called for a meeting of the CWC members.
Sorry. Wait till make I tell you that thing.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Because I don't go there many times.
I've been there several times too.
Petitions where they write against me. The last petition where they invite me,
yes,
where
sir.
I go, come back, go, come back, go, come back, go, come back, stay from morning till evening. That one, the then Chief of Defense Staff, Irabo, the man we harbor a Mefele. That time they told us, then they look for a Mefele, he keep him. Now the same person go write petition against me, give them, say, give presidency. Say, soldiers wey then dismiss unlawfully where they try make them get direction for life, make we engage the military, make he listen to their cry, because most of them talk say na unlawful dismissal. He say I gather them, they don't know what they do with them, meaning they plan something. So I will go answer. Now the last one, I don't know whether another one don't go, because yesterday I talk say we they go block Chinese embassy. We never fix date yet, but we will fix date unless they do something about how they have been mistreating, maltreating, and ill-treating Nigerians in their various construction companies. I talk them. Maybe because of diplomatic relationship and the rest, we will go here. I go. If I no come back, they don't pocket me with that. But that does not stop the movement. Continue.
Thank you so much, sir. And so when I was arrested by NAPTIP, they came to my office.
Say you do.
They came to my office that day. We were in a meeting. I called a meeting of the CWC members in Abuja here, because we are like about 5 of us in Abuja.
What is CWC?
The Central Working Committee of the Union.
Now you call for the meeting.
Yes, I'm the only person.
How many days notice you give for the meeting?
A 2 days notice, sir.
Okay. And that very day when they do the meeting, what happened?
They came in, NAPTIP officials came in.
Into the venue of the
meeting, yes.
To arrest you?
To arrest me.
Carry on.
And they arrested me.
What did they tell you before they arrest you at the end?
They brought a paper to say that I am invited to their office. They first asked, what is my name? I told them. They showed me the paper that, yes, I am invited to their office.
How many of them come?
About 7 of them. 5 of them were armed.
What armed?
Armed. 5 of them were armed. They were led by one Suleiman Al-Khali.
Okay, wait. As the president of this association,
yes,
did you receive any SMS?
Nothing. No SMS.
No phone call?
No phone call. My office, the Nigerian office, was not even informed. They just came there. Yes.
In the middle of a meeting?
Form. Yes, Gestapo form, yeah.
5 of them were armed?
5 of them were armed.
Then led by one Al-Khali?
Al-Khali, Suleiman Al-Khali.
And that was an invitation?
That was the invitation. I followed them with all the members we were having the meeting with. We followed them to NAPTIP. That was the first time I was even really knowing NAPTIP office or even know what they do. When we got to their office, they said I was under arrest. And I said, when you guys wanted to take my phone from the car, even I knew that it was an arrest. What have I done? They said that you are arrested for trafficking in persons. And I say, me, trafficking in persons? I say, yes. I say, I've never heard of that before, and I've never done a thing like that in all my life. And so they said, okay, I will tell the truth when the time comes.
Who was telling you that?
The person who led the Suleiman Al-Khali.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'll tell the truth when the time comes. And so apparently, they just took me in without any evidence, because I asked, I said, is there a complaint against me? Mm-hmm. They said they will let me know later. I said, is there a petition against me?
Something close to what they did to Dr. Otabo. Continue.
They said, I will know later. Everything is, I will know later. By the time we got there, it was around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. They left me the whole of that day. And when it was around after 6
in the evening,
they said they will not be granting me bail because they have a detention order.
Mm.
And then my lawyer was already around, and he demanded to see the detention order. They said they will give him the following day. That the officer who has it has just stepped out. And so that was it. I prepared for a life of 14 days in their facility.
They detained you for
14 days. 14 days. They refused all manner of entreaties to bail. You know the funny thing, sir? Mm-mm. The following day, my Secretary General left for Lagos. Alade Bashir Lawal. He was there when I was arrested. They went with me to NAPTIP, and that was all I saw him, till I saw him in court again. Mm-hmm. I think last year, about 2 years ago, till I saw him in court last year in Lagos. Yes. 2 days after that, he called a meeting and told them lies, and told them that I have been arrested, and I thought there cannot be a vacuum, the union must meet, and somebody else must stand in the position until I go and claim myself.
And this is just an ordinary staff?
An ordinary staff, sir. An ordinary staff.
Not a member of the union?
Not a member of the union.
Continue.
And so they planned the meeting, but as God will have it, I came out a day before their meeting, because they now had the meeting for the night. He called that, I was arrested on the 22nd. He sent an SMS to them by 24th, and most of them had been able to hear what he was telling them, because he was cajoling them to come for the meeting, and that this is it, this is that. And he warned anybody who talks to me, my lines have been tapped. If you talk to me, DSS will come and arrest you.
He told them that?
Yes, he told our members not to call me. Even the secretariat members that had the courage to come and visit me at the detention center in NAPTIP, he sacked all of them. He sacked all of them.
Some of them has been bugged.
Yes.
That anybody that
who calls me,
that reaches out to you,
me,
will be arrested,
recorded and arrested
by
DSS for being part of my trafficking business. And so, you know, civil servants now, everybody just...
Does that mean that SSS's involvement was to intimidate you?
I don't really know, sir. But I think...
I'm just beginning to reason it the other way around.
So,
go ahead.
So, a lot of them couldn't reach out to me, even when I came out and I called him and I said...
Out of fear?
Out of fear. Who gave you the authority to call a meeting? By the Constitution of the Union, which I'm holding here, you cannot call a meeting if the president does not permit you to do so and direct you to do so. On what basis did you call a meeting?
What section of the Constitution says that?
I think section 13.
Open and read. Mm-hmm. We are not thinking here is for you to give us facts, because they are going to talk, they are going to counter some of your claims, if not all of your claims.
No problem, sir. The agenda now, the Secretary General. So while I'm looking for it very quickly, sir.
No, you're not going to continue.
Okay.
Until you give us that.
No problem, I'll give you.
You cannot just quote anything and expect us to take it. For those of you that are feeling like I'm being hard on him,
No, not 10-1.
This is the way to go.
Call a meeting.
We want the truth. I don't have anything personal against him. I don't know him before. I don't know them before.
Rule 13.9.
Rule 13.9. Talk to the
of
mic.
The Constitution says the Central Working Committee shall meet at least 2 times a year at the National Secretariat of the Association. It shall decide the date of its next meeting. The Secretary General may, however, summon a meeting of the Central Working Committee after due consultation with the National President as at when necessary. The Secretary General may, however, summon a meeting of the Central Working Committee. That is the committee he called the meeting while I was in NAPTIP facility.
While you were where?
I was in NAPTIP facility. He summoned this meeting, and I said, based on this portion of the Constitution, you have no powers to call a meeting. You are not a member of the union. You are a staff.
Can you read it out again?
Thank you, sir. The Central Working Committee shall meet at least 2 times a year.
At least?
Yes, at the National Secretariat of the Association. It shall decide date of its next meeting. Then, the Secretary General may, however, summon a meeting of the Central Working Committee after due consultation with the National President, as and when necessary.
After due consultation with the National President, as at when
necessary.
So, which means, even though he has the powers to call for this Central Working Committee's meeting, but he cannot do that without
my saying he should go ahead.
So you can drop the book now.
Thank you, sir.
So continue.
And so he called that meeting. There they decided I should step aside. And I said, in this constitution...
While you were in detention?
Yes, I had just come out of detention. And I said, you cannot call such a meeting. Then let me read another portion. Under the Secretary General, this is Rule 14.7 under Secretary General. He shall, with the President, ensure that the affairs of the association are carried out in accordance with the provision of this Constitution and the laws of the country. That's the Secretary General.
Yes, sir.
He shall, in conjunction with the President, ensure that the affairs of the association, anything that has to do with the association, are carried out in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution of our association and the laws of the country.
Thank you.
These provisions were not followed. And when he called...
Wait, first of all, make I ask Una something. The president of Una association, they detention on one matter where they allege. Una no fit go make inquiry, make Una establish and whether na true or not be true. They did not come to visit you.
All of them, none of them came. This one sitting here.
Leave them.
None of them came. And I want any of them who said he came to say the day he came and what we discussed.
Leave that one.
They never came.
Now me, they just...
And you see, sir, the Constitution of the country presumes that one is innocent if you are alleged, until it is proven.
So continue.
I was never given fair hearing. They had concluded. They had the meeting and the night and decided I should step aside. They took one of my vice presidents to say he should become the president, acting president of the union now.
No,
he's not here. He's not here. He was the one that was texting
consultant
your consultant the other day. Tommy Etimukun is his name. And so they asked him to be acting president. And when they had that meeting and I got the details of the meeting, I tried to make peace. I said it was just an allegation. Just an allegation. There's one person in this studio that I called and she came. Hafsat Shaibu. She's here in this studio right now. I called her and she came to the house. And she said, President, what happened? I explained to her everything. I said, it's like it's a setup. I don't know what happened. Then she was a TUC women leader. And so she was very sympathetic and said, well, she was going to see how we would see if peace can be brokered. And I said, okay, that I should just give her 24 hours. This time they had had the meeting in Lagos and I was telling her all these things they are doing is like we are progressing from error to error. And I don't want this to continue. And so when she promised she was going to go ahead and talk to every other person that I've spoken to.
And get back to you in 24 hours.
Me, I said, okay, I gave her 24 hours. After 24 hours, I didn't hear from her again. I knew something else had happened. And so I said, okay, let me summon the courage, to go and see what can be done. And so I took it upon myself, and then 2 other of my friends, and we went to see my predecessor. We went to see my predecessor.
By name?
Comrade Bala Boboy Kaigama. I went to his office to see him. While I was meeting with him while I entered his office, I saw this Afsa Shaibu there. And I said, but you said you'll get back to me now. Okay, I've come to see President. So the 3 of us went into a room. And the President asked me, I said, look, I didn't do it. You know me. I worked with you for 8 years as Vice President. Not even one thing they said have I done wrong or what. And if I was a bad person, you wouldn't work for me to become the person who took over from you. This is just an allegation, and I think if we face it properly, it will fizzle away. But by this time, I had seen that minds were already made up, and so it was a one-way traffic. It was already a one-way traffic. Whatever you are saying, we've made up our mind. We have removed you. We are going next week to validate the meeting, because if the National Executive Council does not meet, that decision of CWC will still, you can operate it, but it will still be pending. So what they now did was to fix a meeting of the National Executive Council for 5 days later after this illegal meeting, I call it illegal meeting they called, to quickly validate it. And so when I saw nobody was listening to me, I had to approach the Abuja FCT High Court that I want to be heard. If you must remove me, people voted for me. I didn't force myself upon the whole workers of Nigeria. Let me explain to them what happened, so that let them take the decision and say, okay, go, we are satisfied with what NAPTIP has done, or you can then go. They refused every opportunity I wanted them to make available to me to explain myself to the workers. Everybody was now avoiding me like a plague. So I approached the FCT High Court. And the FCT High Court, Justice A.O. Musa, I still thank God for judges like that in the judiciary. And the judiciary is still good to some extent. He gave an ex parte and said everybody should appear before him. They shouldn't do anything, maintain status quo ante bellum. They were properly served. And what I took to the court is enforcement of my fundamental right, the right to be heard. And so they disobeyed. Yes, they disobeyed the order of court.
Was it a magistrate court or an area court?
City High Court. They disobeyed the order of the court. If you see the judgment of the National Industrial Court, it counted against them very well. And so they went ahead and did what they did. That same day, they wrote to all the MDAs that they have removed me for trafficking in persons. It was on radio, it was on television, it was on the print media, it was on the electronic media.
Do you have any evidence to show? Do you have any evidence to back up this your claim?
We have so many we'll present.
Okay.
We have newspaper publications, all these stories. You know the news media house. Once they just hear one side of the story. rather than trying to even call
Not
you to
all,
confirm.
some of them.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them would just take the story and run with it. And so I suffered that a great deal. Not knowing that before they even had that meeting, they had laid a complaint at DSS.
Again?
Yes. They had laid a complaint, a petition to DSS that I was trailing them with tinted cars. And so I went to DSS. By the time I got to DSS, I said, you people say, these people, let me see the petition. You know, they'll show you to read. And I read it. And I said, the person who endorsed this petition, one of them is in Lagos, another one is in Abuja. How come I was in Lagos and at the same time in Abuja, and I'm pursuing them with tinted cars? I don't even have a tinted car. I have a Toyota Corolla and a Toyota Camry. I said, that's it. And I told DSS, I said, I just came out of detention 3 days ago. You people can confirm. They now took me to one very cozy office. They said I should sit down there. I sat down there. And for about 3 hours, they didn't come back. When they came back, they told me, you can go. When we need you, we will call you.
Let's appreciate the DSS.
It's a very decent organization. It's a very decent organization. They just said I should go. Till today, I left. They never called me back. And so as if that was not enough, sir. A few weeks after that, I was invited by ICPC. They had written another petition to ICPC that I was living above my means. And as if ICPC was not enough, I was dealing with the issue of ICPC to go there, write a statement, present documents, bank accounts, everything. They had even done their homework before they called me. And when I got there, I just kept explaining, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is that. And so before I could finish explaining that, Code of Conduct Bureau invited me again.
What was the outcome of ICPC's investigation?
ICPC, the matter is still ongoing. It's still ongoing. At the end of the day, after 4 years this year, in February, they said they were charging the matter to court, that the money they gave to me to buy an official car, as at that time, that I didn't buy the
equivalent.
I didn't even buy the official car. I used the money to pay my lawyer. As yes, there is a provision in our constitution that provides for legal assistance for members of the union. And as the president of the union, I'm the approving authority. I direct, this money was allocated for something. And I used it for something in the interest of the association. You didn't say I spent it. You say I paid a lawyer to defend me in court in the NAPTIP case. When I call a Congress, I will explain to them. If the Congress bring back our money, I will bring it back. If they say, okay, President, you have done well, so be it. But they said no.
That's ICPC.
Yes. So since that 2021, then, sorry? Yes, it was Alade Bashiru Lawal, the Secretary General, that wrote the petition to ICPC.
What about that of DSS?
The DSS, it was this Isaac Ojeveke and the current person who calls himself the Secretary General now, Pebo. He was deputy that time.
The one that wrote
that
so of
DSS
DSS.
Abuja here, yes.
Then that of ICPC.
The ICPC, it was the Secretary General, Alade Bashiru Lawal. Because this time around, they must find something to take my job, send me to prison, or destroy me. That was the game plan. And so I went to Code of Conduct Bureau. When I got there, they said I didn't declare my assets. I said, no, I've declared my assets in 2021. I said I declared in 2017, and I declared in 2021. They said I should bring the slip. You know, they will give you this small slip. So I said, please give me time. I went to my search for the slips. I saw them, and I took them to them. Since that day to today, they've not invited me again.
Let's appreciate Code of Conduct.
So these were traps they were laying for me to see if they could just find anything.
Was there anything that has to do with EFCC?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I'm not taking any money now. If I go to
Did
EFCC,
they report you to EFCC?
No, they didn't.
So continue.
They did not report me to EFCC. So they wrote to Civil Service Commission that NAPTIP has charged me to court. Why am I still? It was the same, this Isaac Ojeveke here, that wrote to FCS, Federal Civil Service Commission, under the last administration, that I have been charged to court. Why was I still allowed to go to work?
This man here.
Very well, sir. Isaac Ojeveke. Yes, sir. We have some of those letters we can present to you here. So when one day I was just there. Okay, this, okay.
Is the microphone having issues? And then remove it now. For how long will you embarrass me with these microphones?
So sorry about that. So
I don't know for how long it was cracky.
Okay.
Go back. Go back to when.
The Code of Conduct.
No, go to DSS. It was DSS before Code of Conduct, then
DSS before ICPC.
Talk to the microphone.
DSS before ICPC.
So go back to DSS.
So I was invited to DSS.
Do you need water?
Yeah.
Please.
The extension of tenure
Hold the microphone close to me. Put ear. If you hear ke. Now new water. You hear?
I heard it. Yes, I heard
You hear?
I heard it.
Ke.
Yes.
When I don't understand, something happens or not, they say.
Thank you, sir, for the water. Thank you so much.
Mention.
So at DSS, like you said, I should go back. They they asked me that there's a petition against me.
If you like, cough inside the mic. We will change the foam.
And so they gave me the petition. I read it, and I said, well, the people who said I'm pursuing them with tinted car, one of them lives in Lagos and one in Abuja here, and I don't even have any car that is a tinted car. That 3 days ago was when I was released by NAPTIP after 14 days in their facility.
And
how can I be pursuing them, trail them? Yes.
At the same time.
So they said, okay. They took me to one office. I should sit there. I sat there. They wanted to give me tea. I said, no, water would do. So they gave me a bottle of water. I sat there. I think about after 3 hours, they now asked me to go. So I left. And they said if they need me, they will call me. Up to today, they have not called me back on that matter.
Let's appreciate the DSS.
After the DSS, ICPC invited me. That they have a petition, and I got to know that the person who wrote the petition was the same Secretary General, and Alade Bashiru Lawal. At this point, I needed to back up to say something that happened between me and him when those check issues, before the check issues happened. In one of these visits to Lagos, he approached me to say to me that he would be retiring by 2021 September, but that he would want to stay on a little while so that he can coach his deputies well. And I said, you're asking me to allow you to remain in office after almost 30 years, and you are 65 years. You'll be 65 years next year. He said, yes. I said, well, I don't think I'll be favorably disposed to doing you that favor.
You told him?
Yes. Now, what I can do for you is whatever your entitlement is, we will pay. And I will not owe you a kobo. But to say you needed more time to train your deputies.
Why you not train them since?
Thank you, sir. I told him, I said, there was one that has been your deputy for like 5-6 years ago. If he can still not do the job, we will hire consultants to work with him. He didn't like it. He did not like it at all. He wanted an extension.
That must have been one of the reasons.
The chief reason, because he finally got it. When they now asked me to step aside, he finally got it. And another thing I needed to back up to again was that the minute they finished the NEC meeting on the 16th of March at Chida Hotel in Abuja here, 2021, they policed my office with police and DSS. Denied me access to the office. That was how they seized the office completely.
Up till now.
Up till now. They seized the office. In fact, the DSS trucks were there. I think they now went to bring a FCT command there, the DSS FCT command. They were there for almost 2 weeks. Yes, to make sure I don't enter the office. That is the kind of people I was dealing with. So at ICPC, I was busy going through the processes of writing a statement, bringing this, bringing that. And then they said the issue of the vehicle, I told them how it happened, that the money was saved over a period of 6 months. It was not as if they carried money and put there once, they say, go and buy an official car, and you didn't buy it. I said, they started putting that money there in October. 7 million in October, 8 million in November, 16 million in December, in January, because it was a 68 million naira Jeep. And I said, it became complete January. And I had not even had the opportunity to buy the approved car when NAPTIP arrested me. I looked for all of you, I didn't see anybody. I have been staying there for almost 14 days. I needed a lawyer to help me. If I have the accusation that, because if you see the arrest, president of association, Innocent Bola Odo, president of association, that's the person they arrested. And as if they arrest me as the president of the union, I can spend this money and explain to the union later. And so that continued. And I said that from then till February this year, ICPC didn't find the courage. But what happened this year, as I later understood, was that series of follow-up petitions were still written by this same Isaac Ajaveke.
This man.
Yes, to ICPC to ensure. Because prior before now, he was not Deputy Secretary General. He was promoted from level 12 to 16 because of what he has been doing in this matter.
From level 12 to 16.
The two of them, him and this one, Nigbokwe, they were promoted from level 12 to 16 so that you can get their buy-in. And they have been very, very effective for their paymaster. And so a lot of them like that, we are given different promotion, all because they wanted their loyalty and their buy-in. And so at ICPC, they wrote different petitions. I have them. Because, you know, when they charge you to court, they will file everything. So we now have all those documents we can avail you, sir, to check our lies and then...
and the truth.
And the truth. Yes, we have them. And so from ICPC, we moved on to Code of Conduct Bureau. And at Code of Conduct Bureau, when I got there, the people who interviewed me said the petition was, those ones, they refused to show me the petition. Yes. Apparently, I noticed that it was because we have a unit. The association as a union has a unit there.
Yes.
It was the chairman of that unit, he influenced to sign that petition against me. Yes, because they infiltrated all our ministries. Like this Mr. Abba, they wrote petition to his ministry 3 or 4 times that they should issue him query or even send him out of service because he was supporting me. So if they know that you are sympathetic to the cause, they will go to your ministry. Sometimes they even change some people's IPPIS number. Yes.
Just to punish them.
Just to punish them. If they know you are supporting me and then you don't want to cooperate with them, they will go and change your IPPIS number. You won't know. They have a way of doing it with some criminal elements there.
And you won't see yourself.
When you now want to contest the election, they will go and print your pay slip and say you are not paying. Meanwhile, you have been paying in the last 20 years. Just 3 months to when you will contest that election, you will see that your name has been given to another union. And when we took 1 or 2 persons on, they pleaded with us and told us the origin. We have those documents and those things.
Confess to you?
Yes, they confessed to us. Is Osino here? If Osino here, let him come
don't
in
worry.
and speak to the microphone. That one was always going to court with me. They went to his ministry and then removed him from our association. And when one of the deponents in the case I had with them at the National Industrial Court, you know what they mean?
Deponent.
He's a deponent. And so they went and removed his name. So that what they should be asking him is, are you a member of this union? Because you are paying to another union. But when we got the joke, the person who did it confessed and asked for forgiveness. I was influenced and induced to do it. They did all manner of things to destroy my person, my career, and my life. Let me say something, sir. After Code of Conduct Bureau, the FCSC, the Civil Service Commission, one day just wrote me a letter. Now, what happened? When this matter happened in 2021, my office, the Office of the Accountant General, didn't issue me a query in February. They didn't issue a query in March. They didn't issue a query in April. They didn't issue a query in May. Every time NAPTIP was giving them information, only for them to now issue me a query in September 22, 9 months after. And that query was premised on the fact that an NGO wrote to them that why have they not issued me a query? I think the office was insisting the matter was a personal matter. It was a private matter.
So an NGO now wrote to them.
And we have these things, sir. We have them. We are not. They are attached with documents that NAPTIP gave to the Secretary General, Alade Bashir Lawal. The NGO trying to make a case. They copied the Minister for Finance and copied the Accountant General. And so that was when
What
they
is
found
the name of this NGO?
Something integrity is it
Integrity Network.
something they claim an office is in Maraba, but when we checked them out, there was no office.
Oh, they claim their office is in Maraba.
Yes.
By the time you try to confirm the office, there was
no office in Maraba.
The Office of the Accountant General used that same petition.
They referenced it in the petition. I'll show you a copy. They referenced the NGO letter
in the query.
In the query, yes, in the query. And I collected the query and I answered the query. Having answered that query, from that September till September the following year, 2022, nobody said anything to me. I was going to work. I was doing everything.
You were receiving salary.
I was receiving salary. I even took my promotion examination to assistant director and I passed. The minute they saw the promotion list that I passed promotion, they started writing petitions again to the office. But before then, the same Isaac Ojabeke, before then, because one day, when he now wrote those petitions and he saw that it was not making sense, the next thing they did was gather a few of them to go there and make some noise there. Why are they still allowing me come to work?
Protest.
Yes, small kind of protest. And that same day, a letter was typed for me, given to the security to give to me, banned from entering the office. That's how they banned the civil servant, a level 15 officer, banned from entering the office.
From entering your office?
Yes.
And they gave it to the security man?
The security man, I collected it from the security man to give to me. No processes, no protocol. The promotion result came out. About 3 or 4 days later, I got a letter from the Civil Service Commission. Because when they left Accountant General that day, they took the same protest to Civil Service Commission to say, why would they allow me sit for promotion? And I said I had no disciplinary issue. Issue me a query and I respond to the query. If you don't get back to me, I have no disciplinary issue. Are you getting it? I had no disciplinary issue. And so I went for I was selected for the promotion by the same Civil Service Commission, and I wrote and I passed. They insisted. And so commission also just typed a letter for me saying suspension of promotion.
So they have suspended your promotion now?
As at that time, they said suspension of promotion. And another letter accompanied it, extension of suspension. The same day.
Suspension of promotion. Then another later, that same day.
Signed by the same person.
Saying extension of
suspension.
Extension of suspension.
Meanwhile, there was no suspension
promotion.
before. They suspended the promotion and they said they were extending a suspension. I don't know where they got it from. I did not initially want to receive that letter, but on common sense, I just said, well, let them continue to move from blunder to blunder. And so I received the 2 letters, and that was how I stayed home. As if that was not enough, by the end of September, he had written to the Accountant General again that the Isaac Ojabeke, that they should stop my salary. The union wrote with the union letterheaded that my salary should be stopped in the office of the Accountant General. and my salary was effectively stopped. The director of IPPIS then, without following any protocol, wrote back to them, telling them he has stopped my salary. I have this letter, so I'm not saying anything.
You're going to provide all
that is not interesting.
I have a bulky document.
I will still give you more because it's an interesting 3 years plus. Yes, these are the things I suffered.
Kai!
All because of the money in the union. They don't want to leave it. These are staff, so not members of the union. Not one member of the union will you call today that will say he has a problem with me. But the staffs who has been employed
that are supposed to work for you
and remain neutral. If there is any issue in the union, they took side with their paymaster, who didn't want to go. Okay. And that 2021, before you know it, they said they have had another meeting and have been expelled, and such. The person who was acting was now confirmed as a substantive president. My salary was stopped since September ending 2022. It was just restored in May here.
What reason did they give to you?
No reason. The letter I have.
For stopping the salary?
No reason, sir. For
resuming to pay you?
The letter stopping the salary was just informing the union that they have stopped. They are the one who requested them to stop the salary. So they have stopped the salary for them. Based on the NAPTIP issue, they have now helped them to stop the salary.
So what about the resumption of the salary now?
It was this year, this new Civil Service Commission. I must praise them. I must praise these current commissioners. And the chairman of the Civil Service Commission, Professor Tunji Olapa, is a good man. All the commissioners working with him now are very, very good people. They
Unlike the previous
one, they will move the commission forward if they get the support of
workers,
the president. If they get the president's support, I believe they will do well. They are ready to do the right thing. They are ready to do the right thing. They did the right thing this year. And so we were...
Did they sum up all your accumulated salary to give to you?
Yes, I have been paid.
Everything?
I have been paid everything. When they reinstated me, they direct them to pay me everything, and the Agana General obliged. I've been paid every cover. They are not owing me again. I've been paid every cover. Yes. Yes. I also want to mention that the Agana General has been very supportive too.
The present one?
Yes, because I see when they see the truth and they see a superior argument, they yielded. And so when the commission, because I had to now appeal again to the commission in December when they were sworn in, I quickly wrote a letter of appeal to this new set of commissioners and the chairman of the commission, and the matter was, the actions only were expedited immediately. And then I was invited by the commission, and so I went, I made statements, I was recorded, and they did the needful. But later I heard that they also went to the commission to now use an NGO to write that the processes through which I was reinstated was not correct. The same person.
You are going to give us the names of all these NGOs.
We have them. Not only the NGO again now, they now recruited TUC, FCT chapter. Those ones now wrote to the Civil Service Commission that why did they reinstate me?
I remember that Hafsat is working with TUC.
Yes.
Well, was it Hafsat you mentioned? Hafsat, right?
Yes, she's the woman leader of TUC.
In Abuja?
Yes. So they wrote, and up to today, as a vice president of TUC, those ones also started hobnobbing with them.
Now, this is a public announcement.
Yes.
Anybody will hear a name or their organization name in the course of this narration, you have the right to come and say your own side of the story. Your involvement, your level of involvement, and the reason for your involvement. Once again, if you hear your name or the name of your organization, in the case of his narration here, this is an open invitation for you to come and say and add and shed more light on this issue. Continue, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to also place on record that before the whole incident happened, I was the first deputy president of TUC.
Oh.
Yes. As the president of association, we have a slot in TUC we occupy. And so I was the first deputy president of TUC. The former TUC president, Quadiri, was very sympathetic to this issue while he was there. But the election caught up with him, and he had to leave while Usifo came in. And I would use this medium to ask Usifo to come, let us debate. Because as his first deputy, he never bothered to ask me what happened. Even when I sent him every message, I wrote to him severally. I gave him so many calls.
The present president
of TUC, Festus Usifo. He avoided me like a plague.
Stand for?
The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria.
So his full name is?
Festus Usifo.
Okay.
So I heard the other day that he went and addressed a press conference, and it is not in the tradition of TUC to meddle into the affairs of affiliates. If he didn't support me while the issues were in court and I have not won, and he didn't even bother to ask me, comrade, what happened? He called a press conference to say that those hoodlums who went to attack the office of the union, he was calling me and members of the union hoodlums. And I just pity him. I pity him a lot. And so I would challenge him to come. Let him tell the world what he knows about.
I have given an open invitation.
About the affairs in association and what efforts did he make? Because if it was NLC, they would call the affiliates and they will resolve in-house. Whether he ever called a meeting to say, let me resolve this matter. But when I won and the police now went to seal the office, he was able to issue a press conference, which I take exceptions to. And I want every worker to disregard his press statement. So we went on to Civil Service Commission. So I'm trying to bring my thoughts back.
You went, your Civil Service Commission.
So yes, sir. And before the
you were promoted.
Yes, I was promoted. Yes, sir.
And then now promotion suspended.
Yes.
Then suspension extended.
Yes. And so salary stopped. And so that was the way it was until this year. And until I wrote an appeal last year, December 18th, to the new chairman of the commission, who now directed the matter should be looked into. But before then, last year, April, we had gotten, I had gotten a judgment from the FCT High Court on the NAPTIP issue.
Against NAPTIP?
Yes, I was discharged and acquitted.
Were you discharged only?
I was discharged and acquitted.
Okay. Barrister Pamela. Oh, the mic is not with her. Okay, let's borrow comrade's own. Sorry. Sir, the reason why I brought it closer was because, no, bring the handheld, bring it. Was because I thought he will, as soon as he is done, you are going to take over. Sorry, let us borrow the mic from you. What does discharge and acquitted mean? Sorry, if it were just discharged, what does it mean?
Okay, so ordinary president, if it's just only discharge, that means the case could come up for trial some other time. It can be tried some other time. But if they say discharge and acquitted, it can never ever come up for trial. It can never be tried, and that person can never be tried on the same offense again in his lifetime.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barrister Pamela. Let's appreciate Barrister Pamela. So continue.
I was discharged and acquitted, and when I was discharged and acquitted, I wrote to the office And I wrote to the Civil Service Commission, Office of the Accountant General. My office, I wrote to them forwarding the judgment. And I wrote to the Civil Service Commission forwarding the judgment and even the head of service of the Federation. Because these are places they had petitioned me to. So over the issue of NAPTIP. But one interesting thing was
human trafficking.
Yes, human trafficking. One interesting thing that I would like to mention was that while all of this was going on, the head of service maintained their neutrality. Yes, they maintained.
Let's appreciate the head of service. They maintained
their neutrality in the whole issue. Even when he led some people, yes, to the former head of service I just led. Even when he led some people there to go and protest and all of that, the woman didn't budge.
Who was the former head of service?
Yemi.
Okay,
the one that just
the
left.
one that took over from.
The one that just left this Monday.
She took over from who?
Oh, yeah, Ita.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Ita.
Okay, so thank you very much. Continue.
And
so they maintained neutrality.
She maintained
up
neutrality.
till this moment.
Yes.
Up till this moment.
Yes, sir.
Why did they?
She even wrote at a point telling them to respect the order of court. When I got that order at FCT High Court that they disobeyed, she wrote to them and telling them that once there is an order stating that everybody should maintain status quo bellum, pending the determination of the matter, he expects them to maintain status quo ante bellum.
Okay, so continue.
They wrote back in annoyance to her, and then she just left the thing. And when the order was challenged, that same court order of 16th, they challenged it, and then the judge gave a ruling against them. And when the judge ruled against them, the judge said he has jurisdiction to hear a fundamental right issue. That what I brought to the court was fundamental right. The right to be heard.
Not a workers' right.
No. It was a fundamental right.
Not a unionism case.
They challenged the jurisdiction of the court and he assumed jurisdiction. The next thing they did was to go and file an appeal. Till today, they have not followed that appeal since 4 years ago. So what they do is they are expert in putting anything they call appeal there, go to the press and tell them we have appealed. And that is the end of the story. So those who don't know will believe there is an appeal. And so when I didn't hear very favorable response from the Accountant General and the Civil Service Commission, I kept writing because now the matter has ended. And so I needed to be reinstated back to work. I don't have a salary. I don't have anything. I've been discharged and acquitted until, we remained like that until this year when the matter was reviewed by this new Civil Service Commission, commissioners and the chairman. And I'm really very grateful to them for that.
Thank you.
And so the case at the National Industrial Court was ongoing. And so sometime last year too, I think about a month after I got the judgment.
From where?
From the FCT High Court, delivered by Justice C.O. Agbaza. And so at the same time, we were having the National Industrial Court case because I felt they illegally took my union office and I wanted it back. The case had progressed. But at the point in time, Her Lordship Justice O.O. Yeumi, who was handling the matter, felt that she should give the opportunity for us to explore out-of-court settlement, which we welcomed.
Let's appreciate her.
Immediately. And when she gave us that opportunity to explore the out-of-court settlement, I immediately asked my lawyer that same day to write to their lawyer. Let them fix a date where we'll meet and time and a place where we'll meet. We're ready to meet them so we can begin to talk. Because the woman gave us 1 month. They didn't follow it. Rather, they went and lodged a fresh complaint against me at FCT Police Command. Still looking for something to arrest me, rearrange me back to court so that I will not have the opportunity of coming back to service. So they laid some fallacious accusation against me and the treasurer and against IPPIS. And as such, they wanted to arrest us. But thank God for the Assistant Commissioner of Police, legal as at that time, one Mr. Achumugo. I think when he heard my side of the story, he knew that the whole story they have told him was a different thing entirely. And the man washed his hands off it. He told them, he said, look, anything that has to do with the union, the police cannot over-interfere. He will refer it to the Solicitor General's office for further advice. And so the Commissioner of Police and the Assistant Commissioner of Police, they referred the matter to the Office of the Solicitor General. And I was called from there that there is a matter, what do I know? I stated my own and I left. But you know, they kept going there to see if they could push the Solicitor General to revert back to the police to charge me to court. And the man is also a good man. The Director of Public Prosecution, I mean, he's a very good man of the Federation.
By name, who?
A.B. Abdullahi.
Let's appreciate him.
He's a very, very good man. There was a day where told he walked them out of his office. This Isaac, he said, you can't come here and tell me how to do my job. Get out.
Who amongst them?
This Isaac Ajabeke. They were going there because we have a unit there. They were now using the unit to try and see to push, because this man, we must destroy him for no reason. I have never offended him. It was his boss I have issues with, not him.
The former Accountant General?
No, the former Secretary General and the former Accountant General. Adlade Bashirulawa is his boss. Then, he was the one I had issues with, who was bringing check for blank checks for me to sign, and I said, I won't do that. I even introduced a policy that angered him in this Abuja. Because when I came and I discovered that, the small 10%, because if you remit money to the headquarters, we will send you back 10%, so that you that are the unit executive, you can have transport to run around. He was doing table payment with that 10%. When it comes from Lagos, if it comes from Lagos, for instance, if you contribute 1 million naira now to the union, the headquarters, we will send you 100,000.
That's the state office. That's
no, you know, Abuja will have units. The units in Abuja, yes.
That sent the money.
Yes. For the ministries and the agencies, we will send you 10% back of what you have contributed for that month, every month.
So they refuse to.
What they do is not that they refuse completely, but they now set up a table payment. The arrangement was between them and the former Secretary General, Alade Bashirulawa. He sends the money en block to his account. He will get big notes and open them and say, you come. If your money is 200,000, they will give you 50,000. The remaining one don't grow leg. I discovered it and I said, no, I will not allow that to continue in my era. And so I said to all the treasurers, send your accounts. The Constitution says the money should be with the treasurer. And the treasurers sent their account. There are some here that will tell you, when I asked that thing to happen in September 2020, what they got shook all of them. They were surprised. And this matter, some of them went to EFCC. We know where they are today. Some of them are with the police right now, some of these matters, but they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that they kill those cases. And so part of the things I am asking this place to do is that the investigation ongoing about them, the police will endeavor to conclude it, and if any of them is found guilty, let the law take its course, because they are fighting through the courts everywhere to see that they stall these matters. I have services I'll give you. In the last 2 weeks, they have gone to 4 courts. 4 courts in this FCT, even though courts are on vacation now. They've gone to 4 courts to try and see how they can upturn the police investigation. And so we got the judgment this year
from
the National Industrial Court judgment, July 9 this year.
Against you?
Against them. Yes, the judgment reinstated me back to office as the national president of the union. But then the tenure was to end on the 29th of July. This was 9th of July. And I have the right to recontest. And as president, because I was doing my first time as president, you can contest twice. I mean, And so as president, on that night when we got the judgment, we did not get the CTC. And I didn't want to go ahead of the court, so we were waiting for the CTC. It took about 5 days for the CTC.
What is CTC?
The certified true copy of the judgment.
Barrister Pamela, what does CTC mean?
Certified true copy.
Meaning?
It's a stamp by the court to show that this document is actually from the court, and the court has certified it as an original document from the court.
Continue. You have 5 minutes to
Oh,
run.
thank you, sir. I'll soon be done. When that same evening of on the night, they had written to the FCT police commissioner that they have information that hoodlums were coming to attack the secretariat. They didn't tell the man that they had lost at a judgment that was delivered earlier in the morning.
And you have provided the CTC?
No, I've not. We have not gotten. We were waiting for the CTC.
Okay.
It took about 5 days for us to get the CTC.
Okay.
But what they quickly did that day was to tell that lie to the CPFCT. He deployed policemen to the place since they said hoodlums were coming to burn down the office and cause mayhem. And you know, all the while, this issue of a national protest was already in the news. And everywhere you mention things like that, police will quickly act.
And
so,
you will no ask of the names of the hoodlums?
No, I wouldn't know. But that was what the letter was showed there. That was why he deployed to the place. When we now got the CTC after 5 days, I wrote to him. And I said, I have gotten CTC, but I understand that some policemen were already stationed there in the last 1 week. I don't know what they are doing in the office. I would want you to give me some policemen to escort me to the office. I said they should escort me to the office. And he approved. He gave me policemen, and we went to the office.
Let's appreciate CPFCT command.
When we got to the office, they locked themselves inside the office and said, Isaac, and the other fellow staffs with him in Abuja here, because they are about 10 or so, or they're about in Abuja here, they locked themselves inside, and the policemen that were deployed there, they locked themselves from the inside and refused to open the gate.
Police were supposed to protect them.
They locked themselves
inside the office.
We came with other policemen,
yes,
more senior to those ones there. They refused to open the gate. They refused to open the gate. And we were at that for about 6 hours at a standstill.
With the police, the same commissioner of police,
yes, sir. Yes,
those other policemen earlier,
sir,
to protect them based on the petition where they don't write.
Yes.
Now the same commissioner of police, as when they approach show superior argument and document, he can't give, based on your request, he can't give you policemen to escort you.
Yes, to the office.
The police where he sent earlier, can't they resist the
one where they say follow me? Yes,
and
sir.
these ones will follow you, senior those ones where they
yes, sir.
Police work don't turn Yambanga work.
Now so we saw something that was not interesting that day. And so we were at that for about 6 hours and so, and he now sent for us to come to his office in the night. We now went.
He know fit give instruction order to the same first set of police where he sent.
I don't know what happened.
The commissioner of police confused.
I wouldn't know, sir.
Because this is a sign of confusion.
So
now me talk say make una go. Now I don't see the superior this thing. Even before I send these people now, I can even send the same people say this is this order what I give now. Now stop it. This man is coming, protect him. I don't know whether you don't need to even send another set of police to come and have conflict. Police and police can't they.
That was what God saved us from that day. I think those senior ones were able to allow peace to reign because we're hearing them even cocking guns inside and saying if we force
the junior
ones inside. And the second time when we went there, they used tear gas. Yes, they used tear gas on us. And so
Igwe must explain.
Well, that is left for him to explain. That's exactly what happened because the number of members that escorted me there were over 200. And if anything untold had happened that day, it would have been a different story.
A disaster.
And my lawyer was there too. He was attacked. of course, they attacked him.
Hey, order.
So they attacked him, and then we had to leave.
Bad eye.
From that day till today, the office is under lock and key. Okay. I have been declared as the president of the union. Their plan is to ensure that I don't take the office until 29th of July, when the tenure would have expired. But what they forgot was that it is our custom and tradition that it is the president sitting that conducts the next election. And so they conducted a gathering in Lagos on Monday. That's where Sheikh said he emerged as the president of our association. I don't know who called the meeting. I don't know on what basis they called the meeting. And I don't know why the constitution was not followed to conduct their so-called delegate conference. But on Saturday, we had done our own. We had invited the RTU, the Registrar of Trade Union, Mr. Amos.
Please, you are interrupting.
Mr. Amos Falonipe, to come and attend our own delegate conference at Yana Apartments. He didn't come, but I was surprised on Monday he was gleefully addressing them at the Lagos delegate conference, the so-called delegate conference they call the Lagos, which normally, according to this constitution, I'm supposed to be the person who will conduct it. If there are new people, I call a lawyer to swear them in, and then we hand over and we leave. So what they conducted is what I don't know, but they called it a delegate conference.
Now, the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters,
yes, sir,
is going to conduct an election today. And the same process, see me, unionism will be part of me. I discover over time, unionism, you must be corner. Now, what I notice over time, comrades, union people, make una forgive me. But over time, from my experience, unionism na corner be like politics, be like politician way. So because of that, I know they put hand for unionism matter. Anything we know straight, I know they straight. I know they with them. So finally, now you have 2 minutes to round up.
Thank you, sir. When we got the judgment on the night, because I had known that the lawyer they recruited, when Barrister Johnson Isezobo and Barrister Albert Ige, were like never wanting the crisis to end. And so the minute I got the judgment from the National Industrial Court, I terminated their briefs with the association. I wrote to them that their services were no longer needed, so that the association can come together and then talk to itself and put its house in order.
And maintain peace.
The next thing I did was to call all of them on phone to say, I'm not angry with anybody, I'm not fighting with anybody. Thank God this matter is ended. Let's come together and meet, and let's move our union forward. They said all they are waiting for is 29th. After 29th, I will see their color. I said, but who will organize the election now? So by 26th, I had a Zoom CWC meeting with my CWC members. We took far-reaching decisions for which I communicated the Minister for Labor and the Registrar of Trade Union, the Head of Service, and the relevant agencies, that we are moving forward. We have agreed that in 3 months' time, we'll conduct the next election. But a series of events now happened. The same lawyers that terminated their briefs with the union said they have gone to file an appeal on behalf of the union. That means the union is appealing against itself. Me, as the president of the union now, that I am appealing against myself. That's what they are selling to the public. And I said, I did not authorize them to file any brief on behalf of the union. As the association is by this constitution
as a lawyer,
today,
once you are being debriefed, that is all. Your client is saying categorically your services are no longer needed.
But they kept taking instructions from staff, not members of the union. And so by this constitution, I direct the affairs of the union, no other person. You can never have two presidents. And so they are still creating that confusion. On the 1st of August, they have forgotten that the judgment was from the National Industrial Court. They filed for an interlocutory. I have them here. They filed for an interlocutory order to stop me from being the president any further, to stop me from being the president, and because before then, investigation is already going on against them. and to stop the Inspector General of Police from investigating them. And so the court didn't hear that interlocutory order. Rather, because now they have said they have filed an appeal, then you went for an interlocutory order. The court didn't grant it. The next thing they did last week was to approach FCT High Court to look for an order to restrain me, restrain the Inspector General of Police, restrain one other person, one like Hime, from investigating them. They listed their names there and everything. The people the police is investigating now, that billions of nairas have been found to have passed through them. Some cannot even explain the monies in their accounts. Some cannot explain the monies in their accounts.
Billions?
Yes, sir. And so they are doing everything to see that they quench that matter. On Friday, the court fixed Tuesday, day before yesterday, for hearing of the matter, and didn't grant the order they were seeking, because the judge at the FCT High Court was very smart. He wanted to know what happened. So our lawyers appeared before him on Tuesday, and he still didn't grant them the order, but he gave us the opportunity to now file our own response. And put, I think it's September 5th for him. September 5th for him to, you know.
This coming September.
Yes, on the 5th for him to decide. That same day before yesterday,
Oga,
they went back.
Oga, we are white. You've been no day there before. This one, you've been there before?
No.
Oga, come down. Why you go take her seat? Madam, climb up. It is, I don't know everybody here. Finally, sir.
So one of their lawyer, Albert Ige, was still the one going about filing all these things in court, forgetting that I have relieved him of his appointment. He still went that same day before yesterday back to the National Industrial Court again to get another order to still restrain me from acting in the capacity of the president of the association.
Okay, thank you.
Then, just yesterday evening, we got wind of the fact that they have also approached another magistrate court in Buhari. So within 1st of August to today, they have approached 4 courts seeking for orders. They go from High Court to Magistrate Court. Anyone that will just give them anything so that they can come here. While they told you that they were busy going to come for today, was to allow them do that sham election they did on Monday in Lagos, to now get these orders and come here and present to you. That was why they were running, if not that they were doing anything. So I rest my case.
Thank you.
They do not respect the court judgment.